So in this video, I'll be showing you how I take basically any copper or brass and add a blue/black patina to it, so it ends up looking like this. And all of this can be done with basic chemicals that you already have in your house most likely, or you can pick up for about $2 or $3. So for the most part, all you're really going to need is some ammonia and some salt, along with some sort of sealable container that you plan on never using again, some towels, and some copper wire just to hang your piece. I drilled a couple holes in this container to make hooks so I can hook and unhook my copper wire inside. And make sure to use copper wire for this. If you use any type of steel wire, it will just dissolve. So the first thing you're going to want to do is line the bottom of your container with some paper towels. This is just so when you pour the ammonia into it, it can absorb into something and not just be a giant puddle. Also, when doing this, make sure you do it outside or in a really ventilated area. The ammonia mixed with the salt will make your eyes water just being around it. Also, make sure that you wear gloves when doing this because this can be kind of harsh on your skin, and if you have sensitive skin, it'd probably be even worse. You can also use a spray bottle so you can spray your piece with ammonia. So before doing this, you need to make sure that there's no oils or anything on your piece, so I clean it off with some 91% alcohol. So I'm going to be sitting it on top of my wires, so it'll be a flat surface that I can add salt on top of this, so everything will react properly. But first I'm going to spray a little bit of the ammonia on there, so the salt will actually stick. And then I'm basically just going to cover the top of it with salt, and spray any off with more ammonia if I think that there's too much. And the last thing you need to do before closing this up is pour some ammonia into the bottom to soak into the towels and add salt to it. I already have a bunch of salt down there, so I'm not adding any more. And then you're just going to let this sit for about 8 to 24 hours. And here it is after about a day. And as you can see, it's completely tarnished and patinaed now, and that there's a lot of blue on here. But there's also still a lot of salt, which we do need to take off. So to take all the salt off without removing your entire finish, I'm just going to basically rinse this off in a container of water, and I'm going to add a piece of wire to it so I don't have to submerge my hands in the water. So I'm just going to dip it into some water from the faucet, and I'm using a container that I'm never going to use for food again, because you don't want to mix stuff like this with your food later on. Also, if you want, you can put this directly into some water with baking soda to neutralize the acids that are going on the outside of this. I've never done it, and I've never had any problems because of it, but I've seen other people do it. You just really want to make sure that there's no salt left over on this. That's all we're basically doing. So once everything is off of it, you're going to notice a lot of your blue is gone. This is totally fine. Go ahead and leave this out somewhere to dry, and a lot of your blue will come back. And if you don't want to wait for that, you can use a heat gun or blow dryer to make it go a lot faster. And if you just keep heating it, it'll start to turn green instead of being just a vibrant blue. So you have some options with your colors. So you can keep the piece just like this and just spray on a lacquer sealer or a clear coat and you're done. But I'm going to knock down a bunch of it and only keep it in a couple areas. And I'm going to use a wire wheel to do this. And when doing this, make sure to use some sort of face mask and eye protection so you don't breathe this in or get it in your eyes. So all I'm going to do is barely go over the spots on this and take it off of any high spots and leaving it in most of the low areas. And if I just don't want it in a certain area, I'll just push harder with the wire brush and it'll take it right off, and it'll leave some of the staining behind from the patina. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward and simple, and you could take off as much as you want or leave as much as you want. And I really suggest putting a lacquer over it though, to make sure it stays, because if not, it'll just rub off over time. And this will work on any of your pieces that have copper and brass in them. And if you're wondering how I made this heart piece, I have a video showing how I made one similar to this one using only scrap pieces, and I'll make sure to link that in the description below or in a card at the top of this video. Oh, and if you happen to take off too much of this, or you just end up not liking the look of the green on your piece, just throw this back into your pickle pot. It'll remove everything. You'll have to repolish the piece, and then you can start over again, or you could go a different direction with it. And if you want to learn how to make your own pickling solution, or what pickle is, I also have a video about that I'll have a link to in the description or in a card above, just like my last video. So after all that, here's what it looks like, and I need to seal it. So I'm going to be using this sealer, and it'll leave a slightly shiny tone to the rest of this, kind of like my other piece. So that's just about it. It's pretty straightforward and a great way to add a lot of detail and texture to something. And go ahead and leave a comment below if you are planning on using this, and let me know what you're going to use it on. And if you found this video helpful at all, feel free to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to be alerted to when I post new videos like this one, subscribe to my channel. I try to post something up every week. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.